Hi and hello everyone. Welcome to GK's community. So today we have a special guest. We have Dr. Sandeep Das, senior resident in AIMS Bhubaneswar. Sir, first a warm welcome to this channel, sir. So
Thank you.
I'm glad to do a podcast with you. So today in Voices of Community Medicine we have a second episode, that is A in community medicine. You are the better person, I think. So I thought you are the better person in AI that I have worked with. So I thought do a podcast with Sandeep sir for AI in community medicine. So no better person than you, sir. So so just give a overview, sir. What is exactly the AA in community medicine in simple terms to the audience, please?
Okay. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this podcast. And I am Sandeep Das. I work as a senior resident in AIMS Bhubaneswar in the Department of Community Medicine and Family Medicine. And to answer your question, what exactly does AI in community medicine mean?
Yes, sir.
We first have to understand what community medicine actually means.
Yes, yes.
And to do that, I'll first give you a summary, okay,
Yes, sir,
by
please.
telling you a quote. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but in some cases, he's better than a master of one. Okay, so if you look into community medicine, I would say that community medicine is a super specialty. Now, many might disagree, but why am I saying that community medicine is a super specialty? Because it, first of all, it does not look at just one body part. It looks into the entire body,
Exactly.
how it works together. And not only that, it does not look at only one human person. It focuses on population levels. Okay, it takes the knowledge of each subspecialties, such as your cardiology, neurology, the nephrology, and many others. They combine all that knowledge and they try to see how can it be applied not only on an individual level, but also in a family level and then in a community or a population level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
So, and we also work here with not only ourselves, but we also work with people like ASHAs and ANMs.
Exactly.
Okay. Now coming to AI in community medicine. AI currently has been used is being used by almost all departments of
Yes,
medicine.
yeah, it's widely used around every
Widely
department. Yeah,
used.
yeah.
Yes, in radiology it is being used, in dermatology it is being used, and now other applications of AI is also being explored.
Yes, yes.
But in our case, it goes beyond that. For us, AI is not just a robot to which we'll give instructions and we'll get answers. AI for us is a tool that helps us make sense of large, messy population data, flag where a problem is emerging, translate the health information across the languages, and reduce the paperwork burden on ourselves as well as other people who are working with us, the allied health professionals such as the nurses, then your ANMs, your ASHAs, etc. Now I should add one thing out here right away, because this will change how you will hear the rest of the conversation actually. AI is not just one thing. Let me be very clear.
Yeah.
AI is not just ChatGPT. AI is not just Claude.
Yeah, yeah.
It is actually a full stack,
Exactly.
a ladder of methods. And this is a message to community medicine residents. Those who are currently not using AI actually don't realize that you are already using the basics of AI, such as in statistical software such as Stata or in
SPSS,
R
yeah.
or in JAMOV and all. The first basic analysis is the regression analysis you are doing, the linear regression, the logistic regression. That is one of the basic method of machine learning. The machine learning forms the foundation of artificial intelligence.
Exactly.
And these are the base methods of machine learning. So you are already into AI.
Yeah.
You should not think that you are outside AI. You are already into AI. Now, today I will talk to you about how you can put it one step further. So that is what I'm trying to convey in AI in community medicine.
Yes, actually, you're saying it's so widely used. You should never avoid using AI in community medicine. Actually, you are already using community medicine in basis of any models, in basis of any software like that. So, my second question is: so why AI becoming important in public health and community medicine now? So, why it is important now?
Okay. So to that, I will need to tell you
Yes.
the current picture. Three things have converged at this moment. Three. Number one, we are now generating enormous amounts of health data. Enormous.
Yes, exactly.
We have surveys like the National Family Health Survey. We have the longitudinal aging study of India. We have now the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. We have registries.
Yeah.
Like you have the stroke registry, the cancer registry. Now, previously it was probably paper based. Now it is being shifted to being completely digital. Nowadays, each and every hospital has a hospital management information software.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this generates a lot of information, a lot of data, far more than any human can handle by himself. For that, that person will need a very large team of analysts, and even then, they are. It takes a lot of time for them to analyze. If I'll tell you one example, the National Family Health Survey.
Yeah.
The 6th round of National Family Health Survey, the data collection has already been done. In around 2024 and 25, the data collection has already been done. But the results are not yet out in the public because the statisticians are still now analyzing it.
Yeah.
They're still now analyzing that huge amount of raw data that they have in their hands.
Yeah.
Okay. And data analysis is not just application of methods. It is also regarding data cleaning, the huge part which sometimes we skip. Okay. So this is one point. This is one thing that has come in front. Second, the tools which we were previously using before the advent of artificial intelligence has crossed a usability threshold.
Yeah.
Now the capability of AI models have increased so much that now you no longer need a computer scientist to make you a capable model, and that matters enormously in resource limited settings.
Exactly.
Such as a lone researcher, public health researcher like me sitting here. Okay, if the AI would not have been possible, I would have to call up a computer scientist or a coder to make a model for me that analyzes this data and gives me the inference.
Yeah, reduce more burden. More burden, like.
But that burden has reduced.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now the third thing is, our health workforce is still not finite. Okay, our demand is rising and rising and rising. So, but our health workforce is very finite. So, anything that can absorb the routine clerical load or the cognitive load, such as filling out of forms, transportation, and many kinds of scut work, anything that can lift us off this load, and they can take these instead, while we focus more on inference and eventual interventions.
Exactly.
That is very valuable. So three things. One is the huge amount of data.
Yeah.
Second is that now making tools has become much more easier than before. And third, the demand is high, and so the clerical workload has increased, and we need something to reduce that workload.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So there is still lack of knowledge.
Very important.
Yeah, there's still lack of knowledge and awareness on using AI. So what's your point on this, sir? Because nobody is ready to adopt these AI tools. As you discussed, it will reduce the burden of the healthcare workers. But there is people like like experts also, their lack of knowledge and awareness, they are failed to adapt that. So what's your opinion on that? What's your perception, sir?
See, in this regard, I would say that the that people who have just started into AI, who have started into things like just ChatGPT and Claude, I would not denigrate them, because ChatGPT and Claude is a very good way to act as a starting point.
Yeah, that's a
into
starting
artificial
point.
intelligence.
That's where we all
Starting
started.
point.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah. Yes.
yeah.
But the thing is that artificial intelligence goes beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our artificial intelligence goes beyond that, and to go beyond that also, you need to understand in greater detail in which stream you are, in which area are you working on. Because let me tell you one thing, okay? You are not going to make an AI model. You are not going to make a machine learning model.
Exactly.
What you are going to do is, you are going to find out which is the you are going to first find out the problem.
Yeah.
You are going to first find then the second is, you are going to find out that what kind of data is emerging from that problem, and the third thing is, what AI tool that you have across the world will be most suitable to solve this kind of problem by using this kind of data. These are the three things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a community medicine resident, or even as a researcher in community medicine, you are not going to make an AI model. That is the job of a machine learning
Yes,
engineer
yes,
or an AI
exactly.
scientist.
Yeah.
Your job is that to understand the problem acutely, to understand what data is coming from that, and then which AI tool is best to solve this problem in a most effective and feasible way, or in the more economical way.
Yes, sir. How to find that this tool is very helpful in community medicine? Just some people don't understand which tool to use, and what kind of AI method or what kind of models use in community medicine. Any point on that?
See, first of all, the thing is that in this question, I would say that how to use or how to know which model to use.
Yeah.
The starting, because even the internet and this one is a little bit sketchy, can be sometimes.
Yeah.
The very starting you can ask to the very starting point itself, to Claude or a ChatGPT or Grok or anything.
Yeah.
You can just tell them your problem. But while telling them your problem, tell it in very minute details, and tell them your problem in very minute details. Along with them, tell them that what you actually want. Okay. So let me tell you one example. So there is something called an exploratory data analysis.
Yeah.
Okay. Most of us, we do not do exploratory data analysis.
Exactly, sir.
We do the only the level of analysis which our protocol tells us.
Yeah.
When we make the protocol, whatever we have written as statistical analysis, we do only that. We do first present a descriptive analysis, then we do a linear or logistic regression on only a few of the variables, and that's just it.
Yeah, we are not going right or left.
We are not trying to find associations between two seemingly unrelated variables, or what can be their interaction between them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
How are they interacting? How is it an additive effect or a multiplicative effect? We are not doing that. Maybe the first thing is exploratory data analysis, and for that, many let me tell you to your audience that the first thing you can do is take the data set, give it to your AI service such as ChatGPT or Claude, and tell them that I want to do an exploratory data analysis of this data set, and I want to go beyond the protocol, whatever the protocol I had made. Now so help me in this, but do not tell the tell the AI model to analyze it and give you the results.
Exactly what this
Instead, what
this is the problem in
Yes.
like they're using AI for analysis. The problem is like most of the people's like they want the analysis from AI. So that is the issue.
No, that is the mistake. That
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
mistake that
Yeah, yeah.
that most people do.
Mm.
In this case, what you should do is you already and here I'll tell you that at this moment it is advisable to shift yourself from softwares like Jamovi and SPSS to R or Python.
Mm.
Okay. Then the next step would be that you don't do you will tell the AI that you don't do the analysis. Instead, you see the variables, you see the data, you see the variables, you see the data, and you see my protocol. And based on that, write me a full code script. Write me a full code script that does the analysis on these variables based on whatever methods of analysis that we have in statistics so far.
Exactly.
And it will for example, in R they will generate you an R file, or in Stata they will give you a Stata do file, or in Python they will give you a Python file. You then download it, and then you run it. It will give you the results.
Yeah.
It will give you the results. These results will have no hallucinations, which the AI model is prone to make hallucinations. But this won't be prone to making hallucinations.
Exactly.
Now, whatever the results you have, you then transfer it back to the AI. And just tell them that what relationships do you see in this data based on these results.
Exactly.
Then you get it.
Yes. I think more misconception has been broken down by this Sandeep sir. So next question, my question is like, sir, do you think AI will transfer our community medicine landscape or healthcare system here? So what do you think about the AI in future, sir? Especially in community
Okay.
medicine.
Okay, so the thing is this: will AI transform healthcare or not?
Yeah.
Yes, AI can transform healthcare, but I would be very cautious with the word transform.
Yeah.
Because in public health, this word has disappointed us before. Okay. That's why I'll say AI will meaningfully change how care is delivered. Okay. And the change is already underway. But the transformation of the outcomes which we desire depends on the more unglamorous thing. AI is a very glamorous thing at this moment, and it is a
Hotspot, yeah.
It is selling like hotcakes. But the transformation but what transform do we desire is based on more unglamorous things. First is data quality. Then you need electricity and connectivity in places like a subcenter or a PHC. And then the third is whether this tool fits the actual workflow of our workers, for example, ASHA and A&M. And the fourth is whether people trust it or not. Okay. The real risk in artificial intelligence is that it widens the gap between well-resourced and poorly resourced systems rather than closing it.
Exactly.
Hence, my honest answer is that AI, artificial intelligence, is a powerful enabler, but whether it transforms healthcare equitably, it is a policy and implementation question, not a technology question. Okay?
Yeah.
So, at the end, I would say all models are wrong in most of the cases, but some are very useful. So that's why no model, artificial intelligence or otherwise, perfectly captures reality. It just approximates the parts that matter well enough to act on. So that is not a flaw in AI. It is the whole nature of the data you are collecting.
Exactly.
How are you putting relationships across them? It is that matters. It is not the flaw of AI.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So this is the healthiest way to approach.
Yeah, basically you're saying we have to use the AI with caution, and you should have a basic. Yeah.
No, I think no. See, the thing is, whenever we hear the word caution,
Yeah.
then at the time we become very pessimistic. No, we should be self-aware.
Exactly. Yeah.
We should be self-aware. We should not be cautious. We should be self-aware. We should be optimistic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we should be self-aware. Okay,
Exactly.
we should not blindly. We should take the help, but do not blindly accept whatever results come from that.
Exactly, sir, exactly. So my second question is, the fourth question is like, what are the common AI tools that are currently used in healthcare, sir? You have any idea what are the AI tools now evolving or using in community
Now,
medicine? Sorry.
now this is a question which then goes beyond the common tools that we use.
Yeah.
Okay, there are specialized AI-based software.
Exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
you have diagnostic imaging tools,
Mm.
artificial intelligence reading the chest X-rays of tuberculosis,
Yeah.
retinal scans for diabetic retinopathy. They are already being deployed.
Yes, yes, yes.
Then you have large language models,
Mm.
okay, which are helping in documentation, literature review, drafting and decision support.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Mm.
there are conversational translation tools that let patients interact in their own language.
Exactly.
But again, here is the part most of us miss. Almost all of us, again, I say, it is experiencing a very single layer of artificial intelligence.
Mm.
One person is typing one prompt into the model, and that is the shallowest possible use. Okay, this above it sits two whole dimensions of depth. Number one, there is depth in the models themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
At the base, there is a logistic regression, linear regression. Then you have more richer methods of analysis like decision trees,
Mm.
support vector machines, etc. Then you have neural networks and deep learning. Okay, and then the next depth is composition. How you take 2 or 3 different models and assemble them into something useful. Okay.
Yeah.
The lowest level is one human, one prompt, one model.
Exactly.
But now we have to go towards multi-model pipeline.
Mm.
I'll tell you one, because I am not only working, I am trying to develop some products also, AI-based products also.
Exactly.
So in those AI products, I hope to roll it out in a few months. Okay, in that there will be two models. One will be translating
Yeah.
from the local language to English, and then the second model will interpret it and give us the results.
Mm.
Okay, I won't go into further details about my product.
Exactly.
When it will be released, you all guys will know.
Exactly.
And I will hope sincerely that when you guys see my products, I hope you will love it.
Exactly. Just wait and watch, and we will give a feedback on that, sir. So exactly what you are speaking about the AI tools, as you mentioned, like everyone seeing the first layer of AI, we are not able to go beyond that point. So that's the point where we have to gain a knowledge about the AI, sir. That's what I mean, like. So my next question will be like, since how this, as we speak in community medicine, so here an epidemic, pandemic, outbreaks. So how this AI will useful in this kind of situations like epidemic or outbreaks?
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
So you have read about the Hedon's matrix, right?
Yeah.
Hedon's matrix. Hedon's matrix, it integrates agent host environment, and then you have pre-event, event, post-event.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So here the agent will be your AI. Okay, the various models of AI. Host will be us, and the environment here would be the particular epidemic or pandemic. Okay.
Yes.
And on the other side, we have pre-event, event, and post-event. Pre-event is just before the pandemic or just before the epidemic.
Yeah.
Then event would be the epidemic and the pandemic, and the third would be post-event, means post-epidemic or post-pandemic. Okay. So let's look it into the special Hedon's matrix. Okay. So in the pre-event, like before the epidemic starts, also, just like we know in any infectious disease, we have something called an incubation period. Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe that every epidemic has a latent period also, and during this latent period, data comes, signals do come, but they are they are so small and filled with a lot of noise that ordinary humans are unable to analyze it. In this case, AI can scan those diverse signals. They can look into search trends, they can look into news, they can look into syndromic data, they can look into even animal health, and they can give us an early warning. That is the basis of event-based surveillance. We already have event-based surveillance,
Yes.
but AI can empower it even further. Now that is the pre-event.
Yeah.
Then comes the epidemic. That is the event area.
Yeah.
Out here, it can help in rapid diagnosis. It can sift through routine surveillance data for anomalies that a human would miss. Okay? Then at post-event, post-event does not mean that the epidemic is over. This means that when the epidemic has reached its peak and is starting and is now in this way to wreak havoc in the health systems. In this case, artificial intelligence can help to anticipate what amount of caseloads can we get, and then they will help us in judicious allocation of beds, oxygen, and staff. Something that we had learned the hard way during COVID-19.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the AI can also help us counter the information pandemic through rapid multilingual communication and misinformation detection.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I would say this caveat: a model is only as good as the surveillance data feeding it. If you are not feeding the right data, then any model will always be wrong. That's why all models are wrong, but some of them are very useful. Okay.
Yeah.
So the limiting factor is limiting factor out here is the strength of the underlying public health system and the people inside it, not the algorithm, because the algorithm is not a human being. You are the human beings. You are here to decide.
Yeah. Exactly, sir. So, so as we speaking about community medicine, main thing is research, sir. So, in research, what are the ethical limits of using AI, sir? This is the most important question, I think, because most of the people use writing a manuscript using AI. So, what are the ethical limitation in AI? When to use, where not to use? So, just clarify in this point, sir.
Okay. So there are some limits.
Yeah.
Especially in research. Okay, and it's not that AI cannot be used in research. Let me be very clear. There are some there are some people in our fraternity who are very, very cautious about AI.
Yeah.
There are some who have started to adopt it, but they do not know how much further it can go. Some of them take it blindly, and there are many kinds of people who are using AI in various levels. Okay. So what are the genuine limiting factors that I can tell you? Okay. First one is the honesty of authorship. AI can assist with your language and structure of your manuscript, but it cannot be an author.
Exactly.
And it cannot take responsibility. And any substantive use beyond language and structure should be disclosed. Okay. The second limiting factor is data consent and data provenance. Okay. And why is it? Because much of these AI-based models which had been made, whenever these models are made, they are if you go into very basic details of AI, after making a model is first trained to refine its inference, and then it is given to us for use. Okay. Much of these models had been trained on data that has been collected without any one of the people imagining that it would feed a machine. For example, Wikipedia. Wikipedia was an encyclopedia in which people had done edits and all of that. Then you have Facebook.
Yes.
Then you have X or Twitter. Many other websites with which we constantly interact, and we share our personal feelings, our personal information, and all of that into it. AI models had collected this data to train themselves. Okay. In health research, this is an unresolved ethical question that we are only beginning to confront, because those data which had been to which they had been trained, some of them have been taken without consent. Now, if we are going to give health data to that model, so will it be without with the patient's consent or without the patient's consent? And if we had collected data from the patient with consent, have we taken an additional consent from the patient that this data will be provided to an AI model? We have not introduced this aspect of it in our consent forms.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Third thing. Now the third limit is fabrication risk. What happens is that many times that whenever we feed data into the AI, we tell them to analyze it. The artificial intelligence analyzes it. It gives us the results. They have a particular they have a particular bias. A psychophancy bias. They tend to be yes men.
Yes, yeah. It will give you a positive kind of output.
They'll tend to give us a more positive. Exactly. Yeah. They'll tend to give us a more positive kind of output.
Yeah.
Okay. They will be very fluent. They'll be very confident that, sir, the results which we have got are substantiative. Even though you can see that there is not much substance in it, but they will give you as much as one. They will completely invent the references and findings. They hallucinate findings.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If you go into the reference, there will be no sentence like this.
So that's why suppose you have asked the AI to generate this a particular manuscript, and they have given references also. At that time, you should read the manuscript, and not only that, you should copy each of these references, paste it in the Google search, and try to see if that actual research article exists or not.
It won't be there.
And whatever they are citing, and whichever reference they have has been used to cite a particular sentence in this one, does that actual reference say that or not? Okay.
You should class verify.
It reduces the burden of you going and searching for the references. But then it introduces another burden that you have to verify.
Yeah, exactly. Class verification should be done because.
So my bottom line is that AI is a legitimate tool for thinking to some extent and drafting to a larger extent, but the scientific responsibility remains fully non-transferably human.
Exactly, sir. So mainly this ethical issue in AI is like I'm seeing like currently in most of the journals they are asking for, if you use AI, please give a consent to that. They are also like ready to accept if you are using AI, but it should be like it should be human. Author should be human, but in case of rephrasing, grammar, this kind of paraphrasing can be done using AI. So this will be a take. So my last question will be, sir, like so what AI skills should future doctor will learn? So this AI skills should be learned for the future doctors in the future to cope up with the AI as a evolving force.
Okay, what courses should they learn? Okay, that's
not about the courses, sir. It's a skills. Yeah, what kind of AI skills? As we speaking like as you mentioned, like there will be only one layer we are seeing. Beyond that point, nobody is going there. So how to go to the beyond? How to go beyond that point? So what is the way? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Out here, I would say that sometimes some young doctors might feel that because we are not using because in this aspect most of the people in the market when they are into artificial intelligence, into machine learning and all, they tend to say that you need to learn how to code, how to go into the very core of things, how to manipulate models, tinker the models and all of that. Okay. But I would raise caution to the wind, and I would say to all my peers, my juniors and all, you do not need to learn how to code. Okay, the most important skills for using AI in community medicine are very much conceptual. Very much conceptual. The first one is you need to learn how to prompt well, how to give data properly to the AI, how to make the AI understand the nature of the problem that you are currently facing, and how to use it judiciously. This is the first thing. Okay? And also how to distrust and verify their answers. That is what I was saying judiciously. How to distrust and verify their answers.
Exactly.
Secondly, data literacy. Data literacy is understanding what makes data good or biased. Because that judgment separates us from useful AI use. That separates useful AI use from dangerous AI use. And thirdly, an understanding of ethics and governance, because you guys will be the ones that will be asking the patients for consent and safeguarding the data. Okay. And on the third point, I would like to tell that it is not a lawless anarchical ground. Okay, because India standalone medical AI is now regulated as a software as a medical device, SMD.
Yeah.
Under the Central Drug Services Committee, this is CDSCO. The ICMR has also issued ethical guidelines specifically for AI in healthcare. Patient data actually sits under the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, and Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission also has a particular sandbox, a testing area, where these AI tools can be tested against the national health registries before any formal audit. A doctor does not need the fine print. Like I said, a doctor does not need to know the nitty-gritties. But knowing this framework exists is part of being a responsible user rather than being a naive one. And fourth, lastly, for all community medicine residents, to not stick into the one model, one human, one use thing. Exactly. I would say go beyond that into one very specific skill set called workflow imagination and workflow integration. Imagine the workflow. You imagine problems and you imagine solutions as workflows. That step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, component 1, component 2, component 3, component 4. When you break it down, then you'll be able to realize that, okay, one model is not being able to solve all of these components. One model is not being able to handle all these components. Maybe the model which I have currently is useful for one particular component or two particular components. But for the rest of the models, for the rest of the components, maybe another model is much better equipped to handle that.
Yeah.
For example, let me tell you, okay, many general people today, nowadays, upload their chest X-rays, ultrasound images into Gemini or ChatGPT, hoping to get well-furnished results and all of that. But because ChatGPT, Claude, and all of that has been trained not only on X-rays and all, they have been trained on a large amount of non-medical data. So sometimes, while trying to answer your input of an X-ray image, they will introduce some non-medical things also. They will try to infer it in a way which is far away from the truth. So in this matter, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, even though they have been tested and they have been model, and Gemini has been ranked very high in interpretation of medical information, still I would say you should be very cautious in using that. Now, what to use? There is one model called MedGemma. Okay, there is one. So Gemini, if you go into the history of how Gemini, Google Gemini has come into force, before that there were models called Gemma models. Okay, Gemma models. Then you came into Gemini, and now you use the Gemini, right? Gemma models. Many of them would not know.
Yeah.
Some people had taken some of these Gemma models and had specialized them in medical information only. So they are the MedGemma models. And I would say that MedGemma models would be much more useful in suppose interpretation of an X-ray than Gemini, which is much of a general purpose AI.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
And whenever you are putting it in a workflow, so one component in, for example, translating Odia to English, translating what a person is speaking. I would say better than Gemini would be something, a model called the Sarvam AI model. You have Saras V3 model of Sarvam AI, which is much more capable in honestly translating. So when you are building, suppose, a system which acts as a clinical decision model, you will so first you will make a workflow. Then for patient input, whatever the patient is saying, for that you will put Saras AI, Saras V3 model of Sarvam AI. Then for things like X-ray images, ultrasound images, you will put MedGemma. Then for interpretation of all these information that is coming from these models, then you put a final Gemini model. So you can see here a workflow. Okay. So this is the way you have to start visualizing and using the AI in the next level. Okay.
Exactly.
And let me be very clear. You do not need, and now I'm speaking more and more about AI, use AI this way, use AI that way. But
Yes.
then you also have to recognize when not to use AI. Okay. When not to use AI. Now, you do not need AI to, sort the numbers and calculate the mean and the median and all. You do not need artificial intelligence for that. You can also do it by yourself.
I will
Okay.
do in Excel also, no issues.
You can do it in Excel also. Okay. And then even linear and logistic regression, they form the basics of the machine learning. But you do not need a very highly advanced model to do that. You can do it on your own. Okay. So these are places where you do not need an AI. Now, then you are actually in the middle. This one model, one human, one use. You're actually in the middle. So you need to know that sometimes you have to shift to places where you actually don't need AI, and using AI would actually overuse it.
Yeah.
And you need to sometimes shift into that place where underuse of AI is happening, and you need to know which model to use, how to put it in an integrated workflow and all.
Exactly.
The doctor, and the final message would be a doctor who has real domain knowledge about what he or she is doing in this particular field, like for example in community medicine. If he knows what kind of data is he working on, what kind of people is he working with in every minute detail, and then he will try to see which tools can be used for very specific purposes, that doctor will be far more valuable than either a pure technologist or a computer scientist or a doctor who refuses to engage at all.
Exactly. So what my understanding is, for the future doctors, there is a way distance to go. You have to go beyond that point, and you have to see, and you have to explore more models. Like as you told, like many AI tools are there. Try to explore more. For translation, there will be a separate AI tools there, and kind of analysis, there will be another tool is there. So try to explore more, and I hope this will help some of the future doctors, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity to host you, sir. So I hope some of the residents or some of the UG students also, they will learn what is AI in community medicine, what will be the future, and because AI is the future, as everybody is saying, like India is becoming a center for AI, so everybody will use this AI in future. And as we already mentioned, like so many peoples, they are sitting in that first layer. So yeah. So this podcast will just motivate them to go and search behind that point. And I hope this video will be helpful for all the students, medical students, and residents, and all general peoples also. So thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you.
for come and speak of these words. So we'll do more podcaster like this in the future. Yeah, sir.
And wish you all the best, and to all the audience also. that you guys are not away from AI. Those who are not using ChatGPT and all of that, you are not away from it. You are unconsciously already started using it.
Exactly.
Now you need to take the next steps. You need to know when to use AI, not when to use AI, how to use AI,
Yeah.
how you can put everything together and make a product. Do some difference in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So one sentence I would say, like, use AI. You can use AI, but in cautious thing. Like, you have to be cautious while using AI. Don't try
Again,
to.
I would say,
Yeah.
don't use the word caution because that's a pessimistic word. I would say use AI judiciously with self-awareness.
Yes.
You need to have self-awareness.
Exactly. Don't expect AI will do analysis and all. just
Yeah.
it will give the code and all, and so use AI more specifically. This is the take home message, I think. Okay, sir. Thank you. We'll do more podcast, and we'll meet in the future also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.